morning. Got 2 coffees on the go. Slightly earlier made, slightly cold one now. Which is ideally how I like it. And a fresh one coming from the kitchen as well. And a new cup and everything.
This is what service looks like.
Only because I was setting this up. I mean, I'm not great at multitasking. We talked about that yesterday. So, yeah. Tuesday 14th of April.
Oh wow.
I know. Sunshine today. This is the sunshine that right there, brother. That makes our neighbour's boy, their son say straight after Easter is summer. He said it again yesterday when we were outside.
Yeah, he thinks
said,
the day after Easter is
boom.
the beginning of summer, and therefore they can get out of the paddling pool.
Yeah, and you know, the weather has been really great, but still definitely pretty cold yesterday. Spring-like. It still definitely feels like April, but yeah, he's set and certain. He literally walked out the back door yesterday, said to his sister, "It's summer now," which is what a great attitude to have.
Yeah.
We overheard him last week, and it just made me think of it as whatever it is, there's a better thing to come. And usually when we get to summer, particularly last summer when it was so hot that period, you're looking forward to autumn, and then when you get through autumn, you're possibly looking forward to it being colder and frosty and the ground being firmer again because you're sick of getting absolutely covered in mud when you even walk down the side of the road because of like the rain and the spray and everything like that, let alone walk the dog or something. And yeah, come back Kate, and those seasons kind of remind us that there's always something to look forward to. And a lot of the kind of traditional things to look forward to might have kind of gone by the wayside. We should have had a family weekend this weekend, catching up with my brother and sister and their families, seeing my mum in that as well. Didn't happen for obvious reasons, and usually that would be something you'd look forward to, as people have been looking forward to holidays that had to be cancelled. And it's finding that new thing to look forward to, I think. And you know, it's over positivity can be a negative, but having a positive approach can certainly help go through whatever you're going through now, if social distancing, isolation is a struggle.
Yeah. It's what you focus on, I guess, eh?
That is very true. Very true. I discovered something cool this morning. It just popped up, which actually was one of the reasons why I was a couple of minutes late starting this video, because Facebook tricked me, and I know it takes a lot of people's attention, but it tricked me with something really cool. Because we have a Facebook page that this goes out on, you can now make a brand new playlist and put everything together. So I literally just put all the morning coffees
that's cool.
into one place. I don't know how you share that or anything yet.
That's something you're feeling positive about.
It was quite cool. I like things to be coordinated and together. I tend to end up with things like that. I think I've got too many YouTube playlists. I'm trying to group things together, and then they start to be groups of groups, and yeah, and then I had all my emails set up into groups, but I ended up with every single kind of program I run having their own group.
Yeah.
So some people who had gone from one program to the next were in 12 groups and things like that. So I spent a bit of time last week before, condensing that down into some different labels, as in who's in the group now, the online group now, who was and will come back to personal training or whatever, whatever status they kind of are. So
I think you were talking about positivity before you got completely sidetracked by labels.
Yeah, but that makes me happy. Organisation makes me happy. I mean, come on, realistically, it makes you happy as well.
Oh yeah, it does. It does, but It is true. That is true. It does make me happy.
I mean, the extra time I've had from being at home means I now have 5 tubs with 3 different styles of drill bits in. What I call special teams bits, which are...
Special teams bits?
Yeah, these are the things that aren't drill bits, but attached to a drill to allow you to do different jobs.
So they're part of a team?
They're a special team.
Days.
It's like it's American football analogy. They're the special teams. You only bring them out when you've got something special to do, yeah. And then I've got a whole other tub for alum keys. Alum. I said alum.
They're not called alum keys.
What are they called then?
Alum keys.
Allen's keys. They're not Allen's
Not
keys.
Allen.
But I reckon I could subdivide that into kind of other brands and IKEA, because obviously every time you get an IKEA bit of furniture, you get a new.
So clearly, Mark's feeling positive about tools.
What has happened though, I've run out of the Chinese takeaway tubs now, so I'm going to have to, at some point,
we're going to have to get
a Chinese takeaway, so I've got
that we can
stuff. Yeah.
Some Tupperware.
Some Tupperware.
I think the thing is that, I mean, like, I know we're just being silly, but realistically, you can be fakely positive, can't you? So you can, in stuff like this, you can actually choose not to look at the stuff that's hard because it's hard.
Yeah. And
just kind of be really fake about being positive. Or, I don't know, not real about the stuff that's hard, maybe, is a different way of looking at it. But actually, in the end, the feelings that are inside will come out.
Yeah.
You can push them down and you can look at, you can kind of try and be overly positive about, I'm going to read 50 billion books and I'm going to... I heard apparently the other day Dame Judi Dench is learning all of Shakespeare's sonnets.
That was funny, actually.
Go Judy.
That was funny.
But I'm going to completely redo the whole house and I'm going to do all these things and not actually look at the fact that there's a little bit of fear in there or whatever. I once got accused of being fakely positive because nobody can surely be this positive all the time, which I'm going to take as a compliment. Somebody also once told me I smile too much, which is beautiful.
I don't think that's about being. Shouldn't be taken as being overly positive. I know clearly you didn't take it as that.
No.
But that's more down to the state you prefer to live out of.
Yes.
And your attitude and reaction to what's going on around you.
Yeah.
And that's something I love about you. And it's something that you have to cultivate, though. It's not just it's not just a thing that some people have and other people don't.
No, 100%.
And I go on to different business training things, and there's some really good stuff out there. And a guy who is definitely not everyone's cup of tea. One, because he's from the northeast, not knocking off from the northeast, but then therefore his delivery is actually really hyper. He's kind of like he's from South Shields or whatever, and he's like really full on. But when you follow him a bit more on kind of his day-to-day Facebook and Instagram, he talks about his ups and downs. But he's very adamant that hyper positivity in business, in that everything is it's kind of like the Lego. Good morning, Dave. Everybody having like high positivity in the kind of style of the Lego movie. Everything is awesome. Actually leads to bad decisions in the long term, because you won't actually ever weigh things up with reality. And he's not saying don't get into negativity and don't do stuff, which basically is a form of procrastination. He's saying don't be so positive that you make poor business decisions because this is definitely going to work. This is there's no reason I can't fail. Exactly. Yeah. And he was actually talking about, in the context of the fitness business, as the gyms were closing, he has got a real passion for fitness. Originally he was a personal trainer, and he was talking about having being in the place of the right middle ground of not being hyper positive and everything's going to be all right, and therefore not taking any action to do with your business and your life because of social distancing and isolation, but equally not dropping into the negative mindset and ending up feeling really down and depressed. And that to move forward in these times in business, you have to be creative, and you can do that from a kind of central
Place
kind of position.
Balance.
Yeah, place of balance.
Oh no!
That's what we were talking about yesterday.
No way. Surely not balance. Yeah, and it's what we choose to focus on as well. As I mean, you know, the reality of how we feel and things being difficult and missing people. That's all real, isn't it? You know, and you can't hide from that. You can't hide from the fact that you're going to have down days and hard moments.
Yeah. And people have got to go out and do their job and do hard stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's going to create levels of stress. And you know, can I physically stay well because I have to go and work at the supermarket, or I work for the NHS, or Holly's watching. I've got to go into school because the key workers' kids are going to come, and you know, that there's risk involved with it.
There is, but it's then if that's all you focus on, so it's kind of then, well, being aware of those things and putting wisdom in place to protect yourself and look after yourself, but at the same time, you know, making a choice about what you focus on. And I heard a really beautiful quote one time. I'm going to completely screw it up. So basically what they were saying was that there are always going to be really hard things that happen in the world. But if you look closely enough, you'll always see the people that are helping. You'll always see the people that are trying to love, the people that are going out of their way to look after the people in the crisis, you know. And actually that is something that we're seeing. We're seeing friends reach out to each other, and whole communities look after each other. And so we can focus on the things that are really hard, can't we? Or we can focus on the things that are good, and being able to mow the lawn in the sunshine and
those things.
You know.
That reminds me, actually, if it dries today, never do that. The front needs doing. I'll get that done.
The front does need doing.
On an actual professional question then, really.
Oh.
There's Dave asking, adding HIIT to his routine for coming up to his next fight. Dave's a very accomplished boxer, bare knuckle boxer, kickboxer. How many times a week should you focus on HIIT to reap the benefits? Benefits of HIIT are that it's short and intense and ideal for you in terms of fighting sport, you know, short 2, 3, 4, 5 minute rounds of intense activity. The way to program it in is focus on the recovery, because obviously HIIT's at a much higher intensity, interval training is much higher intensity, and if you do too many sessions you get diminishing benefits. If your recovery and nutrition can support doing it 5 days a week, then that's fine. If you obviously have to do other sorts of training around that, then you need to program it in maybe on alternate days, or so I know you're running and you do your long distance just for your cardiovascular fitness, maybe alternate days. I'd be happy to talk to you about that via messages or catching up and other means to program that in. So I hope that's a little bit of help with that. Cool. So as always, along those lines, or anything health and wellbeing related, we're always asking, how can we help today? And please send us a message through the page or our Facebook profiles, or you can find us on Instagram. We're not hard to find, not too stealthy. And email as well, mark@mwfitness.net, and Hannah with no second H at mwfitness.net as well.
There's an H at the beginning.
H at the beginning, yeah. It's not no H's in Hannah. I know how.
Anna.
Yeah, that's cool. So have a great day. Looks like the sun's out in Yorkshire. Whatever you're doing, have a good one, and we will see you tomorrow.